How much did you enjoy that at the weekend? Or could you enjoy it much? Was it a stressful up in the stands?
Yeah, games are always stressful, I think, but no, I enjoyed the attitude of the players and the comeback, the togetherness that they showed to dig out a difficult situation and get a well-earned point. So that's where my enjoyment came from it. It was not much from watching the first half, more the second half response, and it was great to see. And it doesn't surprise me from the players because we've done it on a number of occasions this season, come from behind to get something from games. We've had to do it, I think, in our last 3 games. Ideally, we don't want to continue doing that. We want to take the lead and keep the lead. But no, it was good to see the players show that unity together, and they did a great job.
How much are you looking forward to getting back in the dugout, back in the touchline?
Yeah, I've missed it. I've missed missed being in the change room with the players more than the touchline stuff, to be honest. Before the game, at half time, being in straight after as well, you can't do any of that. So that's where I've missed it more than the actual touchline stuff. I think up in the stand, I have a really good view of what's going on. I don't know if Chris Leckey like me being up there because I've battered his eardrums at times, and I'm sure the communication thing broke down a couple of times because it was complete silence from the end. But no, I think I want to be with my team, I want to be with my staff. So yeah, I look forward to that.
Was that a bit more of a smooth process than you thought it would be, getting the communication down from the stand, or?
Yeah, no, look, because we have it, it's Keith Lasley's usually up in the stand communicating to Chris, so we always have communication from the stands, but obviously on these 2 occasions it was me down to the sidelines, so probably a little bit too much information at times from me, but because there's only so much you can control from the sidelines. It's certainly if you're playing in front of 50,000, it's very difficult to get messages onto players. So, but it made our information back to the players at half-time a bit clearer. But even when I'm on the touchline, we get good information from the stands anyway from Keith Lasley, and so it's not much has changed from that side of it. So, but yeah, my place is with the team.
When you get a comeback like that and a result like that, does that make the preparation for the next game a bit easier, just because everyone's feeling good about the place?
No, well, I think we have to be focused. It's not about a mood situation regarding the previous result. I think performances, and it was a big point for us, and probably a point no one expected us to get, certainly at half time. But we have to reset all our levels in our mind first and foremost going into every game, and we can't make the mistake that tomorrow's game will be any easier than Sundays. That if we do that, we'll fall into a big trap. Ross County are a good team. We've already had 2 very tough games against them, which we've won 1 of each, and everyone's got a lot to play for at this stage of the season. So you see results, and you can't really predict them from week to week. But we know that we're performing in a level that we can win games. We know that. We haven't managed to do that in the last 6 weeks or so, but we know there's games there we could have and should have won. So that gives us confidence that we're on the right track. And I think Sunday will go a long way to helping the players prepare for tomorrow's game, because we got up for a very tough game and we're going to have to get up for another tough game.
Yeah, you fought back quite a lot in recent weeks, not just the last Sunday there, but you mentioned it yourself, it would make your life a bit easier if you managed to take the lead in a game. Is that something you've kind of focusing on as well?
Yeah, but we can't fall in the trap of taking the lead and then taking a foot off the pedal either if that happens, because we've been guilty of that in the past. So the game's about 95 minutes, and that we try to talk about, regardless whether we score or they score, that we keep maintaining what we have to do and focusing on everything we talked about or worked on in the days prior to the game. Goals can change people's perspectives on games and actually on what needs to happen next, but you always have time generally to that you have to keep competing, you have to keep playing. Even at 2-0 the other day, we didn't want to go gung-ho and just go hell for leather. We still had to keep a real good defensive discipline to make sure we didn't give anything else away, and to give us a chance of getting that one goal that would changed the momentum of the game. So we were trying to, even at 2-0 before half time, the messages were just keep strong, keep compact, don't go chasing a goal this early, because then you get picked off. So, but on the other side, we've been in the lead in a couple of games, and I think actually against Ross County earlier in the season here, we scored after 3 minutes and then played terribly after that because we took our foot off the pedal. So there's always a focus in our minds, regardless of what the actual scoreline is at the time, about what's actually needed for the rest of the game, and not thinking that you've won or lost at any stage until the final whistle goes.
You've shown that the late equaliser against St Mirren and the cup wins have both been comebacks.
Yeah.
In the last couple of weeks, you've come back to get points.
Yeah.
Is that going to help when you're going into this run in, that you know that you're never beaten almost?
Yeah, I think this is something we've obviously tried to instill day in, day out, since we came in. But it's down to the players to keep believing in themselves and each other, which you see. We know we've got a good squad. It's not just about the 11 at the start, but we've got players that can come in off the bench and impact on the game, as you saw Sunday and the previous games. But that comes from a character and the personality of the players and the group, being able to come back. It is about the scoreline at the end of the game, not who scores first. But the stats tell you that the first goal is quite important, but it's not game defining. And that's what we try to train about and focus the players' minds. But the players don't really surprise me in how they come back from difficult situations, because we see their work ethic every day. We see how they interact with each other. Their attitude is spot on. We always know we're not going to win every game we play, but as long as we give it our best and we keep going to the end, then that's the most you can ask for, or the least you can ask for. Sorry. And the players shown that you get your rewards from that. So it's not luck, it's not fluke, it's hard work and belief. So credit to the players, and you need that over the course of a season. It's you have so many challenges along the way that you have to have a strong mentality, and I think the players have proved that time and time again.
How's Kevin Van Veen?
He's not trained yet. It looks difficult because. He obviously took a hefty knock and he went for a scan. He hasn't trained, so it's a difficult situation for him, because we hope that we can have him back, but fingers crossed he trains as soon as possible and is included. But it's lingering on. The injections cleared most of it up, but it's still there. So we'll see how he is.
Graham, you've always said that games are always important and no one's more important than each other, but is this the start of a really vital 5-game run for you?
No. It's the build-up to a very important game. That's the truth. We cannot look any further ahead than the game tomorrow. We do that, we're letting ourselves down. We're 5% off our focus, what's needed to win a game of football. So for me, and we will speak to the players, but I'll look at my group of players and what we just talked about, their character and personality. We've got good leaders in the change room that know what the game's about and how important this one game is, as Sunday was and as the previous weeks were. So one game at a time. If I hear anyone even think about any games apart from this, then they might not even take part in this one. That's the reality. So we need full focus and concentration on Ross County and on ourselves. But that's the reality. You can only win 3 points at a time, and that's what we aim to do.
How much of a boost will Sunday's result give you going into this game, given that, as has been said before, you're never beaten, essentially?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's one of them at half time where you're 2-0 down against the champions who are, I think, undefeated at home for 2 years or whatever. So it don't look good. But if you feel sorry for yourself, if you throw it in a little bit, then you can be on the back of a hiding. But my players are better than that. I think they show that they care. We had great support from our enclave of supporters in the corner, which kept us going, and we got our rewards from that. So it's a bonus point for us, to be fair, from half time. But it's only a good point if we follow it up with wins. That's the reality, and a win tomorrow. That's the most important thing. It doesn't count for anything if we don't pick up some wins.
Other than Kevin Van Veen, how's the squad looking?
Yeah, I think he's Nathan McGinley's obviously still out, unfortunately, but everyone else, Scott Fox, is back in training today, so that's good because he missed the weekend. He was ill, but everyone else is fit and round to go.
Barry Maguire coming close.
No, Barry's still out. Barry's out. He's going to miss the rest of the season, unfortunately. So he's had to have a small operation on his muscle in his quad. So he'll be out for the rest of the season. So, but we've still got good players in there to compete for the rest of the season.
So you'll go for him because he was establishing himself in the starting 11 just before he got that.
Yeah. I feel for him because he does everything right, day in, day out, and he had cemented that place in the team because of his performances, how he trains, but certainly how he was playing. He was giving us everything we need in that position. We've got another good player who's doing it at the moment, Liam Donnelly, which we know, which is a credit to the squad that we've got. But on a personal level for Barry, I think he's been striving for a couple of seasons now to nail down a spot in the first team, and he'd done that with his performances. But this is the game of football. You have to have a little bit of luck on your side, tough bodies to go through. But it was a difficult one for him to actually avoid the injury because it was in a challenge, and it was just luck that took him out. But he'll come back. If anything I know about Baz, he'll come back stronger and better and more focused on being a better player. That's the beauty of people like Barry Maguire. They always come back better.